Thank you for joining me whilst I make my card for Crafty Caroline Creates Card Swap. I was playing around with the Stylish Stems Framelits dies because they are really quite pretty, and so I've been creating a few different cards using the new Stampin' Up in colours. This one I made slightly differently because I stamped in some stems from the Touches of Textures, and I put a little splodge there because I managed to get a little bit of ink there, so I thought, oh, I need to cover that up, so I just used 3rd generation splodge there, and I quite like it. So today we're going to do this, similar to this. I'm just not going to add the butterflies, which again are bunged on there to cover up a little mistake I had when I did a little bit of a splodge. As you do, this one you might see that I put a bit of Winker Stella on as well, which I thought was quite pretty, and this one I've used the, can't remember what they're called, just to fill it up and give it a little bit of a shimmer. Okay, and that's because you could see the glue a bit, so you can cover up any mistake. Right, I'm going to change the colours. I'm going to use Rich Razzleberry this time. So we've got standard A6 cards, that's a piece of A4 cut in half, folded in half. I've done the layer in Rich Razzleberry, that's 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch all the way around, and then the next layer in Whisper White to match the back. Okay, what I'm going to do is it's this bit that you cut out, and you're using your framelits, and I kind of placed it on top where I wanted it, and then put the stem in to make the design, and then run it through my die cutter. Okay, and this is what you end up with. You don't seem to see me cutting it out, and so that can layer on like that. The nice thing about these framelits is that once you've cut out this flowery shape, you then put on the outline of it when you line it up, run it through again, and that cuts the flower piece out, which is what I've done in Sweet Sugar Plum. I love the way that Sweet Sugar Plum looks with Rich Razzleberry. I think they complement each other really well. So I did that with the big one and the little one, and now we need to glue them on. Now, one of the problems with such intricate dies, gluing them on, is that sometimes you end up in a right mess gluing it. So there is several ways that you can overcome this. One is using the fine tip glue pen. Oh. And as it says on the lid, it is a fine tip, and you just dab little bits over your shape. And then I find I take a little tweezer, main block there, a little bit of a tweezer, pick it up, and then glue it on. But I don't know if you can see there that sometimes you get a little bit messy. Can you see? You can see bits of glue, which is what I did before, but I just covered it with Winker Stella, so it looks like this one is going to have a bit of Winker Stella on it. So just stick that over there like that. The other way, which I found slightly less messy, is a splodge of Tombow on a silicone mat, get a sponge and then just dab that over your shape. This was one of Connie Stewart's, is it Connie Stewart? 2-minute tips to do that. So that goes over it, and then remember not to put your card down on your little gluey mess, and then you stick that over there like so. And there is, on that one, you can't see any gluey mess like you can on that one. I don't know if that's showing up. So I actually prefer this way because I think that's a bit more successful than this one, because you sometimes do make a little gluey mess. But we're not going to worry about that because we're going to use some wing Castella, if I could find the wing Castella. Got me wing Castella. So I'm going to cover that up with a bit of this. I'm just going to paint that on, and that covers up that little mess really nicely. And then it just makes it a little bit of bling then, doesn't it? I quite like that. So, oh, concentrating there, gone all quiet. There we go. So, just put that on there. Done. And then for this card, I am going to turn it into a birthday card, this one. So I've chosen the Happy Birthday Wishes sentiment from the Avant Garden, still available in Celebration. That's running until the 31st of March, so we've still got a few weeks left on that. So this is my Rich Raspberry, which I've just bought the re-inker and then the stamping ink spots. Wanted to just see what the colour was like before I bought the whole ink pad, and I like it. I will be buying the ink pad. And so, oh, photopolymer, we need a Stampin mat. There we go, line it up because you can see through photopolymer. We can stamp it like that, and then it's just a matter of putting the card together. So I'm going to stick a bit of this on the flower. This is from the sponge I had before, to get the middle of the flower to stick down to my card. Sticking it round these edges so they don't stick up. There we go. And place this, because it's an even border all the way around, it makes it pretty easy to eyeball and stick it on. And that bit of gluing from the sponge on the middle of the flower helps that to stick down and not pop up. And then I'm just going to put a bit of dimensionals on the back, just to make it pop up a bit. Stick a couple in the middle. Oh, there we are. And then we stick it on. And then I shall be sending this to Crafty Caroline Creates for part of her card swap, and I look forward to receiving somebody else's creation back to inspire me, because sometimes we all have a little bit of a creative block, so it's nice to see what other people do. So there we go, a nice little simple card. Thank you for joining me. Bye.